I think it'll be 3 years in June.
3 years in June, and you've been able to grow every year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about how you've grown every year. So let's kind of look back where you were 3 years from now versus where you are today, and that's going to kind of be our segue into what I wanted to expand on a bit more.
Okay, so JT, and Corey actually started the company June 1st of, what was that, 2019? Is that right?
Yep.
So then I jumped on board in October of 2019, of course, right before the fun times of 2020.
Oh, yeah.
And, because I was in the distributor rep side, and me and them had the previous clientele that we'd had working for my parents and working for some of the bigger companies in town after we left my parents' place, that we were able to utilize, which was a big part of what's gotten us to where we are right now, is our old clientele, our old contacts. Mm-hmm. So between, Corey kind of being able to bring in that residential side and us utilizing the old contacts we had, that's what pretty much catapulted us and bought us the time till I was able to get there in October. And from that point, then, because, JT was always more or less the operations guy. He was more or less like the superintendent back in the day. I was more or less like the face and the estimator and the sales, and he kind of got forced into having to have his own growth, to sink or swim. And he was all in. He made that decision, and he did a great job with it. And he was able to maintain it till I got on board. And at that point, we were able to grow because then I could really utilize. I was able to not be selling against selling to the competitors and all stuff like that. So I was able to kind of lose my sense of guilt and all that. So I was able to really jump all in myself and start having fun.
Yeah. Once you start having fun, that's a dangerous place to be in. Yeah. Dangerous in the ways of it's crazy how fast success can come.
And that's the biggest thing for us was that, we're able to, we always do what we say we're going to do. My dad always said that, the only thing you have in business is your reputation. No matter where you go, people do business with people. Yes. So if you lose that, you might as well move to a different city and start all over again.
That's true.
So to be able to have the clientele that we've had for the past 20 years, it was because we do what we say we're going to do, and we don't walk away from problems. We're not saying we're not perfect. We're not saying that we are perfect. Problems are going to happen regardless of, even if you do everything that you thought was the right way to do it, and it might have been the right way to do it, but where there's a manufacturer failure or an installation failure, there's only so much that you can control in this business. Yeah. So as long as you do what you say you're going to do and you're able to maintain those relationships, it's a lot easier to maintain the relationships than it is to find the new ones. Yeah. And because you, at that point, use your own old contacts to be your salesman for you, and it's a lot cheaper that way.
It's a whole lot cheaper, and it's a lot easier.
It's a whole lot easier.
So with that, this is a great segue into what I want to talk about, and that's how do we create opportunities in our workplace? Because in construction, it has never been more fierce than what it is today. There has never been more general contractors, flooring contractors, mechanical, electrical contractors in the marketplace than there is today. So I understand the relationship and how things get established and how you continue to love on that relationship as you continue on in the business. But, man, I'd love to hear, how do you actually create opportunities with new clients, or let's say it's an existing client in some of the high rises we have downtown? How do you create opportunities for you guys to get, I would say, that new chance, the new project, the new relationship on another opportunity?
That's a little bit, I follow in your footsteps a lot, if you want the truth, when it comes to this building, the business side of it, and the new clientele. I mean, like me and you were probably one of my newer clients, and it takes a long time to kindle a relationship. I mean, I can go get, 20 new GC clients tomorrow, but at the same time, I can't physically handle being able to make sure I keep my reputation up for all 20 of those clients. So it's a very fine line that you have to do to be able to make sure that you do find it while simultaneously making sure you uphold the reputation that you've built upon. So to answer your questions, a lot of the times what I personally do is utilize, the whole give and take concept with reps. That's a big one for me. Hey, I can give you this one if I don't ask for it, that's not blatantly, but at the same time, like, you start getting these working relationships with people. And even then, you try not to pigeonhole yourself with the certain ones. You really try and spread the love with as many manufacturer reps as you can to get them to reciprocate. And then at that point, that's starting to build your entire network, and as you're doing that, it gives you the more opportunities to start, funneling in that work, in and out with the people that you relationships. And that same thing goes with when you have these, like leads groups and stuff like that. And not leads group where people just sit there and bring what they found from the business journals, but, the ones that they have the end user, clients that they've had for the same amount of years and stuff. And that's like a really core group of people that you have to really trust, because if you're giving away those secrets that took a long time to build, you don't want anybody to have those.
Yeah.
And if you're going to put your name on that person, just like with you, I mean, for my end user clients, I would undoubtedly give your information to and your company information, because we do have that working relationship. I do know that y'all care about it as much as we care about it, and y'all have a lot bigger of a package than we got.
So that's I love you brought this up, because essentially what you're saying at the end of that is relationships can come, or opportunities come from different angles.
Absolutely.
There are many jobs that it came through on our side through a trade contractor relationship. And what I've seen all too often in the GC type mind is where I think a lot of people fail, is they ultimately think they are the GC, they are the decision maker, they have the biggest stick in the game, but it's not true. It's not true at all, and that's definitely not what we have built my business on. I think the most powerful relationships are the ones that when you can come together as a team, such as Ladson and Native, for example. But where I'm going to is that we've had opportunities, big opportunities, $1, $2, $3, $5 million deals come through directly from a trade partner. So it's not necessarily Ladson creating an opportunity. I think for us, when it comes to creating opportunities in the workplace, it's not just focusing on one avenue, whether if it's us working with a property manager, us working with a developer, but it's working with every single person of the process.
Right.
Because there's not one more important role than anyone. Yeah, I mean, essentially a deal starts from a certain point and works its way down or sideways, however we want to look at it. But essentially, everyone there is a viable piece to the puzzle, right?